Klons for every budget, coming up next. Welcome back to the channel. I'm RJ Ronquillo. If you're new here, yay! Welcome. Thanks for joining me. So in this video, I wanted to compare Klon type pedals to the real thing, a real Klon. So I've chosen for the shootout a few pedals that I had at my disposal, but I specifically chose pedals that were in certain price points just so we could have a range of things to compare. The most budget Klon type pedal to a little more expensive, and then of course the real super expensive, totally not budget friendly Klon. And hopefully at the end of this video you'll be able to find one that you like more than others, and hopefully one that fits your budget. But before we get started, if you're into these kinds of videos, make sure you click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to stay notified of whenever I release a new video or whenever I go live. So I arranged a little pedal board for the shootout, and we're gonna be checking out 5 pedals. The first one we're gonna check out is a real Klon Centaur, silver one, loaned to me by my friend Zagg from Mythos. Scientifically speaking, I guess this is going to be our control. And then we're gonna go down the line price-wise, starting with the Mythos Mjolnir Overdrive. This is the Wildwood edition. Now, if you don't know, Mythos has 2 versions of this pedal. There's the standard Mjolnir, which is the standard kind of gold box, and this is the special edition Wildwood Mjolnir, specifically made for Wildwood guitars. Now, this one runs at about $249 street price. Next up, we've got this J-Rocket Archer Icon. Now, J-Rocket also makes 2 different Klon style pedals. There's the silver Archer, and then there's the gold Archer Icon. This is the one that I had, and this is actually the first Klon style pedal I ever owned. I really like it. It runs for about $199. Next up, I have the Electro Harmonix Soul Food. Now this edition is the JHS mod. This is the Meat and 3 JHS mod, what they call it, which is not offered to my knowledge anymore. But for the purposes of this demo, we're just going to use it in stock mode, so it's going to operate and sound exactly like a regular off-the-shelf Electro Harmonix Soul Food. And this one is going for $86 street price, which is a nice jump from $199 down to sub 100. And then lastly, we've got this Nux Horseman, which many of you may have heard of. It's probably the most budget-friendly Klon type pedal that's out there. This goes for $65 street price, which is a great value for what it does. And as you can see, all of the pedals are hooked up to this one control looper. That way, we're not taking in any consideration of, you know, the buffering going into other pedals or whatnot. So I wanted to keep it as tonally strict as possible. So I think the way that I want to demo these pedals is try to play around with them and try to get similar, you know, sounds or tonal areas from low gain to high gain. And at the end, I want to hook up my looper pedal and play the same riffs through each one of these pedals and kind of switch them off and on one by one, just so we can hear a direct A-B in real time. And stay tuned till the end, because I'm gonna turn on all 5 of them to hear what they sound like together. Okay, so I have all of the pedals turned on, going through the looper, and I'm just gonna go through them one by one. Right now I have it set pretty much for a very similar kind of medium gain. Basically the gain on the real Klon is up at noon, so I kind of set all of the other pedals around noon. And you'll notice that some of them have a little bit of a different gain structure once I start playing around with them. But I'm gonna play, maybe talk a little bit, but mostly play. And also I'm using my R4 Gibson Les Paul 1954 reissue into the Amplified Nations Steel String Sultan. And here's the clean sound. So starting with the real Klon that costs thousands of dollars. Sounds so good, don't you agree? Okay, moving on to the Wildwood Mjolnir from Mythos, $249. Here's how it sounds. Moving on to the Archer Icon by J-Rocket. This one is again $199. I like how smooth it is. I like how both of these are sounding really nice and smooth. Okay, moving on to our sub $100 pedals, the EHX Electro Harmonix Soul Food. Not too bad. As you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but I have the treble down a little bit from noon just because this tended to be a little bit brighter than the other ones. I also noticed just now that the drive seems a little bit lower when it's at noon compared to these other ones. I think that would be a closer match to the other ones that we tried out. So the Electro Harmonix, knob-wise, tends to be a little bit brighter than the other ones, and the gain seems to have a different type of sweep. Okay, moving on to the cheapest one of the bunch. Cheap meaning price-wise, not in build quality or sound quality. This is the Nux Horseman, $65. I think I'm forever impressed by the Nux Horseman just because, A, the price, the size, and tonally it's pretty on par with all the rest of them, I think. I feel like it is lacking a little bit in the lower mids compared to, like, let's say the first three. For now, I think I wanted to switch over and try to get a lower gain setting on all of these. So I'm going to do that right now. All right, so I've adjusted the gain a little bit on the real Klon, and this is kind of the tone that I'm going to try to get with all the other ones. It's kind of this lower gain blues tone. I'm on the neck pickup of my guitar. Cool. So let's try to adjust the Mjolnir. Let's go back real quick. I can't believe I'm saying this right now, but I'm kind of enjoying the Wildwood Mjolnir a little bit more than this real deal Klon. I think it's got this smoothness to it. All right, let's move on to the J-Rocket Archer and see if we can do the same. Go back to the first Klon. To the Wildwood. Okay, I'm seeing more of a similarity in this kind of gain setting between the Archer and the real Klon. That being said, I'm still liking the Wildwood Mjolnir's smoothness. On to the Soul Food. I do feel like I'm having a hard time dialing it in, just because I feel like the knobs on the first three are very similar as far as their positioning goes, and I feel like the soul food's a little bit off. All right, moving on to the nukes, however you want to call it. Let's get the gain down. This, I don't know if you can tell, I can tell right away. It seems a little bit sizzlier on the top end. There's something with this pedal that seems a little bit brighter on the top end. Now there's two modes. There's a silver mode, which if you hold the toggle down, that could make a difference. So the silver seems a little bit more open and brighter. Mid-range forward. I think I like it this way. Here's the real Klon again. Pretty similar. I feel like this is smoother, for sure, than the Nux. Let's just go through them again with the settings that we have, just to see where we're at. Mjolnir. It's weird. I'm feeling in this pickup position, the harmonics are sounding a little bit smoother on the Klon. But this is slam, and this is kind of mid-range forward, which I like. Here's the Archer. That's smooth as well in this pickup position. I like it too. Soul Food. It's not bad. The Soul Food is definitely not a bad pedal. I think there is a smoothness that it's missing compared to the other ones that I'm kind of discovering. There's something kind of harsh in the high mids to me. But still not a bad one. The Nux. Feeling like the Nux is a little bit smoother than the Soul Food, but at this setting at least, in this configuration. I'm telling you, the Nux is starting to be like the best deal for me, or for anybody that's looking for this Klon sound at a really good price. 65 bucks. That's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to try all of these out with a little bit of a higher gain. I'm not going to dime the gain totally, but I'll probably try it out around 3 o'clock. Moving on to the Mjolnir. Let's see if we can match it. Both of those are sounding killer. I'm just going to do a quick A-B right now. So where the Wildwood Mjolnir is set, It feels like there's a little bit more gain, so I'm going to back it off a little bit. Also, I'm noticing that the Mjolnir has a little bit of a advantage in the mid-range. Wow. So between the two of these, which I love them both, I feel like the Klon is a little bit smoother in the mid-range, whereas the Wildwood is more up front in the mid-range. It's definitely a little bit more rock and roll, so I'm digging that. All right, let's try the Archer icon. So the Archer is sounding a little bit brighter than the other one, so I set the treble down a little bit. Let's see if I can match it to the Mjolnir. Let's compare it to the real Klon. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing about the J-Rocket Archer is the gain knob has to be turned up a little bit more than you would on a regular Klon to match that, which probably means that that the Klon probably has more gain on tap than the Archer, which is not bad. All right, moving on to the Soul Food. Wow, so that the drive on this Soul Food has a lot of drive on tap compared to the other ones. I mean, that's dimed right now. Definitely sounds a little bit brighter than the other ones, so I'm going to knock down the treble a little bit. Going to the Klon again. Okay, so this is weird. I'm noticing, especially at this higher gain setting, that the Klon, and this might be one of the features of these pedals, is this seems to have a little bit of better note separation. Even with this higher gain, when I play these individual strings, I'm hearing a clear definition, clear separation with this. Not so much with the Soul Food. Let's see if I can let you hear the difference. Mjolnir. Archer. Yeah, there's definitely something happening in the frequencies or the EQing of this pedal, where the first three do have this note definition that I really like. It kind of gets lost here in the Soul Food. All right, on to the nukes. So it's kind of similar to the Soul Food where the note definition isn't quite as good as the other three. So now what I want to do is plug in my TC Electronics looper pedal, play the same riff through all of these pedals and kind of A-B them, kind of rapid succession, so we can hear the clear differences between all of the pedals. You know what, before I go, you might be wondering what 5 Klons chained together sounds like. Let's do it. Well, there you have it, folks. That was a pretty cool comparison between 5 different Klon pedals. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought. I know many of us can't afford a real Klon, so these are some great options. Personally, my favorites were the Wildwood Mjolnir from Mythos, as well as the J-Rocket Archer Icon. But I thought it was really cool to compare all the different price points and different pedals. So hopefully I showed you guys some of these options that will fit whatever budget you guys have. All right, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click that thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, gear demos and guitar lessons, make sure you click the subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. I'm RJ Ronquillo, and I'll see you in the next video.